Howdy friends, family and other creatures of the sea, and welcome back to another high-level game of StarCraft 2. Today, in the bottom left, spawning on Blackburn as our red Terran player playing for Team Dragon Phoenix Gaming, it's going to be Cure. And in the bottom right, as our blue Zerg player playing for Team Quadong Freaks, it's going to be none other than soO's. Fantastic stuff. The rumor on the street is... Oh, we have a Reaper already in the natural. But the rumor on the street is that soO's has some fantastic ZVT. Absolutely fabulous. Very good mechanically. Strong. Knows what to do. Ooh, Cure. You want to be a little bit careful there. He's going to let that Reaper go down to 5 HP. And gets the block off on his opponent's third base as well. This is a move that in the current map pool is only really viable on Blackburn. As Blackburn is the only map where there's no good alternative for the preferred third base. So on any other map in this map pool, the Zerg can say, hey, I don't give a crap about this base, I'm just going to take this one. But because you have like the ramp over here, you have rocks over here where tanks can set up, it just isn't a position where you really want to be taking a third base. And so this is a relatively frequent occurrence where we see these Terran players blocking this third base, forcing the Zerg to get a couple of extra queens before they can throw down that extra base. And in the case of soO's, even starting a lair. Second gas. This is giving me some extremely strong Mutalisk vibes. Of course, still is possible... Ooh, that Reaper's going to juke. That Reaper's going to juke. No, it's not. No, it's not. Just purely based on that there is still speed and we're not seeing a Roach Warren go down yet, I am going to assume this will be a Spire over a Roach Warren and some type of fast single Evo chamber for maybe a Roach pressure or something in the early parts of the mid game. Now we have a triple Rex follow-up coming out of Cure. This is the most safe and solid response against anything 2-base related. So you still get some cars on the map. You get 4 in this case. You can also play it with 2, I believe. You get 4 cars out on the map and you just kind of delay that starport for a bit to get a crap ton of Marines out. This allows you to stop any type of Nidus play. This allows you to have a lot of Marines ready in case of Mutalisk, which once again it is going to be those Mutalisk, as we do see that Spire go down right now. I think it's important to note that this is kind of a catch-all response. So this is not individually tailored to a build order that you scout, but it's like, hey, my opponent's playing 2-base, I don't quite know what it is, I think it's going to be difficult to figure out exactly what it's going to be, and this is my catch-all response here. So you're safe, you're always going to be slightly ahead against most 2-base scenarios, but this doesn't just straight up win you the game or anything like that. That is not the case whatsoever. This is a completely playable spot for soO's. However, his eco is a little bit delayed, and the only real compensation he has for that is a fast Spire. So that means that whatever comes out of this fast Spire will need to deal some damage, and it's unlikely that it's going to be Corruptor, so I'm looking forward to these Mutalisk actually trying to deal some damage on the other side of the map. The creep spread is looking very healthy. Of course, that is also a product of there only being 4 Hellions, and 2 of those Hellions staying at home for a very long time as well. Link's making their way across the map. We're thinking of a surround on those 4 Hellions. We're now thinking of a surround on that single Hellion. But soO's decides, no, a better plan is to actually just send them home, use them defensively, get up to 6 gases right now. And as long as I keep these Links alive, I can also probably just continue continuously drone up. And that's exactly what's happening here. We see continuous drone production, kind of together with these mutas. So drones and mutas, minerals go to the drones, gas goes to the mutas, and of course you also need some minerals for mutas, but it's so little gas, or so little minerals that it doesn't really matter. A couple of Banelings will need to be morphed here. This is an odd push out. I said, as I didn't see the Medivacs show up quite yet, but now that the Medivacs are here, this is a push out that makes a lot of sense. This is hitting quite hard, and we kind of see the muta timing being perfect here. It's going to go around. That does mean that there's not that much at home currently for soO's, and that he's going to require some big Baneling hits. He's stalling out a lot of time with these queens. At the same time, the mutas are hitting the third base, and they're going to be hitting pretty hard. First couple of SCVs are already falling, and Cure is not going to get a kill, but he probably indirectly delayed his opponent's forward pace, and he cleared an absolute crap ton of creep. Look at all that creep that is about to start disappearing here. He does pay a decent price for that though, because he loses 10 workers. And I am not so sure that if Cure ahead of time would have known that this was going to be the trade that he was taking if he would have taken it. He's still on the map. He still has the ability to perhaps deal some damage, but at this point, Baneling speed, the centrifugal hooks has already been done. There's more Mutalisk on the way, and there's already a lot of Mutalisk out. We have 9 Mutalisk, 6 more on the way. That means that there's a decent chance that this army is going to get cleared up, even off creep. Because there's plenty of Banelings, there's Baneling speed. Right now we see the Mutalisk moving in as well. Do we get any big Baneling connections on these Marines? The answer so far is no, but more Mutas are showing up. And I think that this is going to get cleaned. Good target fire out of here, but oh my god, this Muta control is absolutely fabulous. Look at that bad boy being sent back, and I don't even think a single Muta went down. Okay, 2 Mutas have gone down so far. Must have been in that last fight, but I mean, against 2 medevacs and what was it, 16 Marines, that's definitely a worthwhile trade. Drone count still is a little bit low for soO, but after taking out that double drop, he decides that it's time to completely drone up, gets 11 more 1-1 upgrades. This is really the one area of this game where soO is lacking a little bit, and that's always going to be the case with 2-base Muta, because majority of your gas and your minerals will just be going into Mutas. Instead, your upgrades will be later. And because Kure was kind of on top of his own upgrades, we see that 2-2 has already started. A pretty similar timing as the 1-1 of soO. So there's going to be some timing windows perhaps that Kure can hit. However, right at this moment, I'm very doubtful whether Kure is even allowed to be on the map in the next 1.5 minutes, honestly. Because there is a significant supply lead right now. There is a goal in play. We see 7 gases being taken. Wouldn't surprise me if that goes up to 8 gas pretty soon. And there's just a lot of units. Actually seems to be that soO will be the aggressive one here. Double mines will burrow right now. Baneling's not going to get hit by those mines, but instead will just clean them up. For the small price of 3 Banelings, gets 2 mines. That is definitely a good deal. You see that one in your discount store. I would take it every single day of the week. There's no hive coming up yet, so we're not seeing any type of transition into Ultralisk in the near future, or any other hive unit, although I doubt it. Viper is not a very popular choice together with the Mutalisk, because the Viper tends to lag behind a little bit. But maybe Viper Muta could pull in like a single Thor or something like that. It might have some potential, who knows? Who knows? Maybe that's the underused thing here with the Lingbane Muta play. But yeah, so far it's just going to be heading into those 2-2 upgrades. I would not mind seeing an infestation pit being thrown down, even if going to hive is just going to allow you to get adrenal glands, the 3-3 upgrades. The +3 carapace especially, of course, is huge against Marines. Does give these Banelings and these a little more viability, as these mines are going to be hitting a big chunk of the Mutalisk over here. 2 more Mutas will fall, and it also forces these Mutas back for a bit, because they don't want another accident and then get 50 Mutas blown up accidentally. I love that Kure managed to sneak in this drop. It's like, hey, all of these Mutas are on the top side of the map. If I drop on the bottom, it's going to force the Mutalisk back, and it will allow me to push out. So we actually are seeing a 2-2 timing. Kure is allowed to be on the map currently. He's clearing a lot of creep. A lot of the creep has been rebuilt, by the way. So it's some fantastic creep threat. He's known to be a very fast player, of course. Mechanically very strong. You have a couple of Banes trying to clear some of these mine positions. Currently we still have 12 mines available, though. I think there's only 4 or 5 with this push. You have 5 mines with this push. One has already shot his shot. So that means there's 4 active mines available right now. It's not including this one, because that's number 6. Fort base finally is being taken as well here for Kure. Kure wants to fight this off creep, and soO wants to fight on creep. So while the creep is disappearing, soO is going to try and engage. And with that boost pad of the purple stuff, actually we'll be able to clean up this push without too much trouble. There's a lot of money in the bank still right now for soO. There's a lot of Mutas out on the map as well. 2-2 upgrades are about to finish up for him, and he's going to continue pushing in right now. This is kind of scary here for Kure. I don't think Kure necessarily is going to be dying against this push, but there is the possibility that if larvae are available, which it seems like there really isn't, that 12, 13 new Mutas get built. Yeah, here we got the first 6 already, bunch of Banelings. Still a lot of minerals in the bank, especially. I'd love a couple of extra gases to be taken here. Even just going up to 8 would already be kind of big. I still believe that an infestation pit is, yep, should be an inevitability. There we go. Does get thrown down. So we immediately have that respread of the creep as well. Cure's going to continue being aggressive here. Off of a very low worker count, may I add. 69 workers only. No extra command centers for a 5th base. No extra command centers for orbitals. so is in a pretty good position here. He really is. There's not much of a timer on him, while usually with Lingbane Muta, it feels that once the Terran survives into a proper mid-game and they get those 3-3 upgrades, maybe even start considering getting like a Thor out, a Ghost Academy out, very often the Mutas start falling flat on their face. But in this case, I think there's still some potential for this Lingbane Mutalisk army, because Cure just... There's really nothing economically speaking for him. He needs to be taking good trades the entire time, and that makes it hard for him to push out where there is creep. So he's being very, very careful right now. We have a Thor moving towards the bottom side. Good little movements here. Good defensive rotations coming out of Cure. I have to say, he's always ready with these Thors in the correct position. He only has 2 Thors currently. One on the top side, one on the bottom side. Lots of turrets as well. We see some mines here. Let's take a look. If Su paying attention, he sees the mine. Thor moves in though, gets one shot off, and these Mutas will return back home. We immediately see the top side Thor joining that main army, which is going to be pushing forward right now. 101 links are available. Hive is on the way. 3-3 isn't done yet. So this is an equal upgrade fight with 30 Banelings. This is a single angle engagement though out of Su. This is very, very scary. I don't quite think this is the engagement that he necessarily wanted. He is going to be cleaning up a large portion of the mines here. And does have Larva available for 52 more links. But I don't think that was a great fight, honestly. The supply looks favorable for Su, but that's just because he's building 30 supply of links right at this moment. I don't think Cure can continue pushing on. He needs to kind of restock the mines. He needs more mines with this army. I'd love a higher Marauder count as well, but wait, are these the first extra barracks being added? No. There's already 8 barracks, so these are barracks 9 and 10. I think I much prefer seeing extra command centers over these extra barracks in this case. Just getting 1 or 2 extra orbitals for scans, maybe a Ghost Academy. Ghost Academy is really, really good against Muta. Snipe one-shots a Mutalisk, so even just having 5-6 Ghost, every single engagement, you can just clear up like 1200 resources worth of Mutas if you target well. And against Mutas, it's often not that difficult because it's a unit that wants to be attacking into you. So the Ghost really renders that unit kind of useless. We have double Ultra Cavern on the way, by the way. I don't think this is intentional, but it will allow him to get both of the upgrades at the same time. Building armor gets denied as we have the high-sec auto-tracking still being researched. These Mutas are kind of going ham. With the +2 upgrades are dealing a decent chunk of damage, or they're preparing for a decent chunk of damage, as every single turret in the third base has been taken out. There's 1 turret remaining in the main, so it feels like there's now a good setup to deal more damage, but the damage hasn't really happened yet. High-sec auto-tracking being taken out is kind of nice though. At the same time, we have a big engagement here towards the top side. Planetary will survive though, and that is a very big deal. There is no base to currently replace that 5th, which means if that 5th would have been taken out, it would have been a huge hit to Cure's eco, which honestly he doesn't have too much of already at this point. 4 Ultras are on the way. We see Su taking the 12 o'clock base as well, or well, he already has that 12 o'clock base. Upgrades are on the way. Anabolic Synthesis first. I don't think Su is quite aware that he has a second Ultra Cavern over... No, he is. Okay, it's actually for double upgrades. Wow. Chitinous Plating as well as Anabolic Synthesis at the same time. This is very, very rare. He really cares about getting these Ultras out quick. Finally, 2 more command centers on the way here for Cure. He's also moving on creep. No mines anywhere nearby. Means that these Banelings are going to keep rolling till they explode onto something. This time it was a couple of Marauders, so not the biggest of deals here for Cure. Where's the Mutalisk? How high is the Mutalisk count? We're still at 13 currently. 17 have gone down, 396 links have fallen, 20 mines, 26 Marauders and 113 Marines so far in this game. Overall, units lost heavily in favor of the Terran player, but because his eco is still so bad, his income is hot garbage, I think this position is still very playable for Su. If you would be seeing this type of trades against the Terran that's already on 7, 8 orbital command centers, on 82, 83 workers the entire time, you'd be looking at a game that we could call as over. But right now, I don't think that's quite the case. Has the armory gone down? It has. We see an armory being rebuilt. Must have been taken out by the Mutas. Makes it nice to clean up these mines after a fight, of course. There's currently 18 mines out. We do have that Ghost Academy coming down as well at this point. And soO's is going to start rotating towards the bottom side. There's not that many Banelings with this army. 31 should maybe be enough. Big mine hit on a lot of the links. Are these Banelings going to connect with what they want? I think the answer is no, not really. But the Ultras still are alive as well, and they're kind of ripping through a couple of these Marines. Mutalisk are trying to take out this command center. I don't think that is going to happen. But at the same time, these Ultras are way tankier than you'd expect them to be. Command center takes a decent chunk of damage, but will stay alive for now. 4 more SCVs are on the way. Feels like Cure finally wants to get up to a higher worker count. I wouldn't mind just like 2-3 waves of SCVs here. Just going up to even just 75, 76 would be nice. Cure sticking with his 69 worker count. Seems like he's really keen on that. Medevac count is only at 5. A lot of these are damaged, and I think 3 of them are empty as well. So that means there's currently 2 active medevacs. We do see new ones in production. That's important. We have 4 orbital commands out as well right now. Still not a whole lot, but I mean, it's more than 3. So I guess that's something. Sensor tower being built, turrets, and once this bottom position gets set up, it becomes really difficult for soO, because soO, sure, he's mining from this 12 o'clock, but with this bottom position taken, no way you're getting the bottom base. There's absolutely no way. It's so easy to launch an attack from this area on towards that 6 o'clock. We have a couple of links being sent in, maybe just more for a scout than anything else, seeing if any of these patches have been mined out. The moment patches have been mined out, you can start doing Baneling run-bys into that mineral line if you truly want to. I'm not saying he will, I'm just saying that is a possibility. Maybe that's what he was checking for. Ghost count is growing. We're currently at 4. There's 5 more on the way. Now my elementary school math teaches me that will bring us to 9 ghosts total. These ghosts are fully upgraded, of course. I say that, but there's no enhanced shockwave. Guess it's not really necessary without Vipers or Infestors around currently. That actually brings us to a good point, is that perhaps an Infestor might be useful. Creep threat still looking very healthy, by the way, here. Very, very healthy. soO's complete control of this game. Is going to attack into this? I mean, I guess that's a possibility. I did not think it was, though. Ultras are continuing on this wild goose chase against these Marines, while the Ultras and the Mutas seem to be taking out a bunch of the Ghosts. Well, there's a couple more snipes going down. 4 more Mutas will fall. This Ultra will also get cleaned up. Once again, not the greatest engagement here for our Korean Zerg player, who is down 13k in resources lost. Is going to continue throwing more and more cheap, well, not cheap, but kind of replaceable units away. Now needs to rebuild a bunch of Ultras, 46 links as well. Cure feeling ballsy. Cure is feeling ballsy. He has a bank that is plenty big. He has a setup that is dangerous and difficult to break. And he's attacking right now. And I think that might be the scariest thing for soO. Not because this attack can't be cleaned up, but because it shows that Cure is very confident in his position. And soO has been trading so poorly already. So the longer the game will run, the worse it's just going to get here for the Zerg player. And yeah, Cure taking another decent fight here. Ultra is going to get sniped down. Mines reaching very far to the back, so there's a very long kiting back path. Flanks are going to be tricky to execute as well. Once again, soO will go for a similar setup as before. No, decides to go back. He's going to be moving completely off creep if he wants to cross the halfway mark of this map. That is what he seems to be doing here. I just don't think it's possible. I think the only vulnerable base right now is this topside base. soO does not quite agree, is going to once again go into this funnel of death. Ghost in the back getting, well, kind of blasted here by these links and these Mutas actually. This is a good engagement for soO. This is the first real good engagement here for soO. We immediately see a lot of reproduction happening here for Cure. This Planetary might be falling, though. It's running low. It's running very low. Muta's going to right-click it as well. With that Planetary down now, all of these units are in some major danger. No Overseer here means that none of these mines are going to get cleaned up. But somehow, some way, eventually, soO finds a way to break this position. We'll take out the final Ghost. We'll take out more medevacs as well. Does need to be careful with these mines though, because there's no Overseer with this army. And if there was an Overseer here, I'd say that soO was now in a very, very favorable position. But because all of these mines stay alive, that means that the next attack, once again, a lot of these initial links and banes are just going to end up falling. There's still 17 mines around. I have no clue where all of them are located, by the way. think I see one up top, so it must mean there's like literally like 12 over here. So yep, 12 mines over here in this single screen. It's kind of crazy. And they're all well split as well. Like, this is not easy to engage into. soO probably is going to try again because the last fight was so darn good. But this is scary. Like, it can switch with a single mine shot. It can completely turn around. Here comes the first mine shot. Good control on the link so far. Detonating a lot of these mines. 3-4 mines on the right side getting detonated. Ultras once again moving forward. Muta's a little bit out of position though. This time the mines are getting cleaned up, but does not quite get the great trades against the bio. So the army of Cure stays alive. However, the initial defense of the mines is gone, and that means with more link reinforcements, with more Banelings that can morph in right now, the next attack could be a killer attack. And here come the Ultras once again going in. Is there enough anti-air to deal with this Mutalisk? Well, we get one snipe. Oh, it's actually on an Ultra. Ultra is going to end up falling. There's more units on the way. They're all stuck in the main base right now, though. Supply depot was not quite done yet, or down. It was done already, but not being moved down here. Kind of a big error. More mines are going to burrow here, but they get taken out before they even get to fire. This is an engagement that I do not endorse in towards the natural, but those mine shots, those trader mines actually hitting a large portion of his own bio, and soO is kind of breaking through right now, but this base is still mining. At the same time though, we have this 6 o'clock being taken as well. I'd love a couple of drones to be transferred over there. While you're assaulting Cure here in this natural. It seems like soO just wants to kill his opponent right now. He says, I've had enough of this game. I don't want to stay in here no longer than I need to. I just want to win this ASAP. Now this Planetary actually is dealing with these Ultras a little bit better than it probably should. This Ultra might actually also get taken out, and there's just a little bit too much. 3 more Ultras are on the way. These Mutas in the sky also helping out. It is 32 army supply right now against the 64. And the final overseer is going to get taken out. A lot of Mutas falling again as well. But yeah, but the problem is that this is bottom base right now. Mining can happen. That's the problem. Mining can happen. And the moment this base dies, I mean, that's it, right? We're looking at a scenario in which Cure has half a base mining, while soO still has this top side. Overall units lost has remained pretty stable as well, not ratio-wise, but in absolute difference. And that's usually also not good for a Terran when that happens. A couple of big mine shots here, as these overseers are trying to tank more of them. Sadly for Cure, there's not any more mines. There's also no Marauders. Planetary gets taken out, and with that Planetary, the hopes and dreams of the DPG Terran player will also end. soO takes the game against Cure, the Season 3 GSL champion, against the recent military returnee. Man, what a show. Absolutely sick game. I love it. I love seeing soO back. It's great to see he's already good in CVT, which is obviously the most mechanic-focused matchup. And I'm looking forward that once he kind of brushes up on his theory, what he can do in the other matchups as well. In the ZVZ, in the ZVP, because he's still struggling a little bit there. When it comes to mechanics, he seems to be in absolutely tip-top shape. That's going to be it for me today. Thanks all so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy this game between Cure and soO. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see all of you next time for a new video. Thank you, and bye-bye.